Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your number one source for real estate advice online. Thank you for checking out my channel. Make also sure that you go to my website. It's at the bottom of this video, and you can subscribe to my newsletter there so I can stay in touch with you. And feel free to send me email if you like. My email address is realestate@juliamspencer.com. And in this video, we're going to talk about Clark County tax sales. Now, I know a lot of you guys are actually subscribers from Nevada, from Las Vegas, or even the city of Henderson. So I recently had a chance to go with one of my mentors again to a tax sale in Nevada. Specifically, we went to actually several tax sales. We went to the tax sales for Clark County. We also went to Henderson City, and we went to several different tax sales. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown what we did. I learned a bunch of stuff, and I made some videos about it. I haven't posted all of them yet, but I wanted to at least briefly show you what we did and how we did it, so you have a little bit more background information. For those of you that are out there in Nevada or maybe Arizona, California, that are looking to get into the Nevada market. Now, the one thing that always worried me about the Nevada market, specifically Las Vegas, is the fact that it is a city that's built in the middle of the desert. I've voiced my concern many times. The Hoover Dam isn't holding as much water anymore as it used to, of course, and a lot of that water goes to California. So, I'm always afraid that Nevada, and specifically Las Vegas, is a ghost city in the making. That being said, nevertheless, don't want to pee on anybody's parade, as they say, and I want to show you what we did. So the reason I went to this tax sale, to these tax sales, there were several, was because my mentor wanted to teach me how specifically to bid on HOA and condo foreclosures instead of regular tax foreclosures and special assessment foreclosures, but we actually did both. So this is the paper that I used when I was out there. And this is where the sales were advertised. Now, when you open this paper up, there are a lot of sales advertised as in trustee sales, notice of trustee sales, and you see all the sales right here. Now, this is not going to be advertised in the, this sale actually does not happen at the courthouse. It actually happens at the offices of this particular newspaper. And when we were there, we went there 2 separate times. They were auctioning off bank foreclosures, and they were also auctioning off condo HOA foreclosures. And there was maybe like 3 or 4 people there, not very many. And most of the ones that were being sold there sold for very high prices. Now, mind you, the prices were still a good deal if you have a lot of money, but they weren't like very good deals from my perspective. I remember specifically one property that we looked up. It was appraised at $1.5 million, and it was sold for about $400,000 or $500,000. So it was still a good deal, but it's not a deal that I would buy. And there was really only 2 or 3 people there, 5 one time, and no private people at all. It was really just individuals and myself and my mentor, and we were there, and the prices were going really high up, and you could tell that the people that were there bidding were actually institutional investors. They were on the phone and they were going back and forth, and of course the auctioneer knew them by first name, so he knew who they worked for. So it's very kind of like an internal affair, but it was really good to see this, and the fact that there was really only 5 people there. And not everybody can go to all the auctions, obviously. My friend said that the auctions go on all the time, like almost every day. And when I looked at the dates, there's actually a list of sales. They are really going on most every business day, maybe a day or 2 skipped. So if you live in that area, Nevada, in Clark County, you can go to that legal newspaper, Nevada Legal News, and you can go there and just, participate. You don't have to register. There's no registration fee or anything like that. You can just bid as you are there. One thing that I did find out, most of the sales are supposedly starting at 10 a.m. However, most of them didn't start till about 11 or even later. And that's because the auctioneer was trying to make sure he was in contact with the banks, the HOAs, the condo associations, to get the clear green light on actually auctioning off the property before they proceeded. So, and they also wanted to have the payments right away. So my mentor, my friend that went with me, actually made the payment before even the auction. He just gave him cashier's checks to the receptionist, and then he didn't bid on anything. He got the checks back. When he did bid on something, it's just understood that the remainder of the money is then sent back to him at a later point in time, the address that he provided, basically. So these are additional sales that are going on. I've asked about this for a long time because I think a lot of you have asked me too. Is like, so we have tax sales, we have bank foreclosures, we have marshal sales. What about the HOA condo fees and all these other special sales that happen? Where do they happen and when do they happen? And this is the answer for Clark County. Please don't copy me for anywhere else, but for Clark County, it's this right here, Nevada Legal News. And this is where basically you can, it's actually online too, it's nevadalegalnews.com. And this is where you get the information for these sales, and the properties themselves are also advertised there. Now, one thing that we did do while I was on this trip, we actually did a little bit of research on these properties. What my friend has taught me that is in the trustee sale, you have to be really careful to not buy a property that has a deed of trust that was undersigned by Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae, because they have a sort of a conservatorship. It's a specific law, I believe, what I've learned. If you're in the law profession watching this video, you probably know this better. But it's a conservatorship, which basically means that you cannot quiet title a property that has a mortgage that's underwritten by Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae, because these are federal underwriters, and federal government underwriters are ahead of any kind of local government tax authorities that might be conducting the sale. And of course, all HOA and condo associations, which are also local, very much local. So federal always supersedes anything that is local government or local or even private organization. So you got to watch out for that. Of course, in the state of Nevada, the conveyance of a title happens by deed of trust. So all you do is go to the courthouse, you ask to see the records of any one specific property, you look for the deed of trust and see if it was underwritten by Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae. You'll see that on those forms if you find them, or if you see that it's a form that's used by Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, very likely they're the underwriters. Of course, there's no definite way to find out who has underwritten a document unless you actually look at the document. So again, I'm not an attorney, I can't give you legal advice. I would very much recommend that you check with your attorney on that particular situation. And by the way, that probably applies in every state, and I made a separate video about this, so that's a whole nother discussion. But just to get back to this particular sale that I went to, my friend did not buy anything. There was not enough leverage. However, properties did start about $3,500 to $4,000, and these are really nice ones, $200,000 to $300,000 ones. And then of course there was a couple of the high-end ones that were a couple million or $1.5 million that one time, and they sold for about I don't even know what it was, for $800,000 something. It was a good deal, but it was not a deal that I was watching by any way. So that being said, my friend, of course, he's from California. He goes to this auction once or twice a month. He of course looks at the list and stuff, and then he makes his travel plans to fly out to Nevada, to Las Vegas, to attend these sales. Aside from that, we did go to another auction, which was in Henderson, in the city of Henderson, and that particular sale was a lottery auction. I'm going to make a separate video on how lottery auctions work, and that I was almost the winner of this particular lottery, but I didn't win. So in those kinds of cases, if you find an auction that's the processes are a lottery, those are really good auctions to attend because there's no upbidding. But I'll explain all of that in my next video, which is on how do lottery auctions work. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you subscribe. Check out my audiobooks on my website, and I look forward to see you investing very successfully very soon. Have a great day.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.